We're here today to celebrate historic preservation. May happens to be Historic Preservation Month. This is something that we have celebrated in our country since 1973, and the idea behind it is to really promote the benefits of historic preservation in communities across the country.
Okay. Now, does part of this have to do with what's going on at the Mercantile, or is this something that was scheduled long ago?
It is in conjunction with the Mercantile building. We have been following what's been going on here in terms of the public concern over the proposal that's on the table for the demolition of the building, and we're trying to generate some public interest and discussion in historic places like the Merc in Missoula, how those can continue to be community assets and revitalized for community use.
So have you had a chance to look at the business plan of the folks that want to come in and maybe just use something to make a park bench or whatever, and all the people who have tried and proposed trying to remodel it using the way it is, it's just too expensive. How do you respond to that?
I've seen some plans, probably not all of them. I haven't been steeped in it entirely. I think the way we're looking at this at the National Trust is we want to make sure that the process that the demo permit has to go through goes through in the right way, and that alternatives really are considered for demolition, so that everything is on the table to consider what can truly be done there.
My name is Cher Justo, and I'm the Executive Director of the Montana Preservation Alliance. We're based in Helena.
Okay, now I was just visiting with the other gal and mentioned that the primary reason you're here is to try to raise awareness and keep people talking about what's going on with the Missoula Mercantile building. From a state perspective, what does that mean to you folks?
Well, the Montana Preservation Alliance has been in operation for almost 30 years, and our specialty is to help to convene conversations around challenging properties for preservation, especially properties that are tremendously significant and much loved by the community. And in our experience, we've often found that the more attention that gets paid to those situations where the community clearly wants to keep a building but is sort of flummoxed about how to do it, there are solutions, there are creative solutions, and sometimes it's just a matter of getting the right people around the table and a willingness to look at alternatives.
From your perspective as someone who's from Helena, not necessarily from Missoula, you can kind of look from the outside in. What are some possible solutions that we should be talking about here?
Well, you know, the Missoula Mercantile, first off, is just such an iconic building, and there are ways in other communities where incentives have been applied. So, for example, there are historic preservation tax credits, there are new market tax credits. The city can play a role with TIF funding, and when you can combine those things into a package of development, it does pencil out. And those are things that haven't been fully considered in the current proposal. In addition, there's always this faith that when you have people who really believe in the preservation of a building, you can bring some of the costs of construction down, you can look for some partnership with the community, and many times that partnership can result in a win for everyone.
Are you optimistic that something can be done before they throw their hands up in the air and just tear the building down?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and the community has a voice in what happens, and I think that's the most important thing to remember, that development proposals can come forward for really iconic properties, but the community has a voice, and the community has a master plan that really embraces preservation as a cornerstone of economic development and of community identity. And so a really active pursuit of a solution to this problem would really result in a win.